Before you start self-employed living care work in 2020 onwards, there are 6 documents you must make sure you have. In this video, I'm going to tell you what they are, why you need them, and then I'll show you how to get everything prepared. My name is Zuva of livingcareworker.com, and on this channel I give you tips to help you find living care jobs that pay well. So if you're new and would like to see more of that, then consider subscribing. The first thing you must show is evidence of your right to work in the UK, even if you are self-employed. And the reason for this is because if you're going to do your self-employed living care work through agencies, that's something they'll want to see. But also, even if you are going to do self-employed living care work, working privately for somebody, especially a person who receives funding from the government, more and more often now, they are being asked to make sure that even if they are employing their own carers, they make sure the carer has the right to work in the UK. So this can be shown in your passport, a biometric residence permit, home office letters, or some sort of a visa that allows you to work in the UK. Now, if you live abroad and have never lived or worked in the UK and are wondering if you will need a visa to do living care work in the UK, the answer to that is yes. Anyone has to provide proof of their right to work in the UK. However, to find the best possible route into the UK for your life situation, I recommend you go to a website called gov.uk for the most accurate information on the immigration rules of the UK. That's also because from 1 January 2021, the UK will have a new immigration system. So I will put links to that information in the description below this video. Next, prepare your CV with your full work history, including any gaps. So let's say there was a time you were not working for whatever reason, you need to include that in your CV. If you're going to work with agencies, this is something they will ask you to complete when you fill in their application forms. And the more agencies you register with, the more times you'll have to do this. So the quickest way to do this is to write your CV once and then keep a copy of that somewhere so that each time you're filling in a new application form with a different agency, you refer back to that one. To create your CV, you can use the CV Maker on Indeed.com. It's easy to use, and once you fill in all your work history, you can download a copy of that and keep it with you all the time. Along with your CV and work history, aim to have at least 3 professional work references. If you don't have that many, most places will accept 2 references and maybe a character reference, but they should always tell you how many references they want and the type of references that they want. The third document you need is a criminal record check, or what's called a DBS. Now, normally, only an organization can apply for this on your behalf. You cannot get a DBS on your own, even if you're a self-employed individual. It has to be an employer or company doing it on your behalf. So if you don't already have one, most agencies can help you apply for this. You will get charged for it, but depending on who you're applying with, they may ask you to pay for it up front or take it off your first pay. An enhanced DBS, which is the one you'll need, costs around £44. But be prepared to pay a little bit more depending on the agency or whoever it is you are applying with. And one last thing, when you do get your DBS, make sure you sign up for what's called the update service. This will cost you an extra £13, but what the update service does is that each time you are starting work with a new person, they can check the status of your DBS online, rather than you having to apply over and over again for a new DBS each time you start with someone else. So it's £13 definitely worth paying for, and it will save you a lot of time. But if you're not interested in working with agencies, there is a service you can use by an organization called Your DBS. They help people become paid carers. To get a DBS through them, you can do so as a member of their community, which is cheaper, or you can do it as a non-member, which will cost you £99.19. I am a member of Your DBS, and at the time of filming this video, I have just used their service to get myself a new DBS. It It was a very straightforward process. So you begin your application here, and You're the Boss will ask you some information about who you are and your work. You will then receive an email with further instructions to make payment, complete the actual DBS application, email a copy of your insurance, and send in your ID for a DBS check using the post office service. After you complete all of this, you should get your DBS within 2 weeks. But because of this whole coronavirus pandemic that we had, DBSs are now being processed a lot quicker, so you could actually receive yours within days. Now, you might have just heard me mention insurance certificates. Well, that's because document number 4 that you need to have as a self-employed living carer is your public liability insurance, a certificate of that. There are quite a few reasons why you need insurance, but basically it's to protect you or the people you may be working with in case of any harm happening to you or them. Without your insurance certificate, agencies might not accept you, and even people employing carers private. So this is a must-have. If you don't have insurance and would like to get a 20% discount on your cover, you can do so by joining PA Pool. And when you join PA Pool, you will have access to an exclusive discount from Shorewise Insurance for PA Pool members. If you haven't already watched a video I did called 5 Ways to Find Private Living Care Work, I show you in that video how to join PA Pool. So I will put a link to that video in the description below, or you should see it somewhere above there. Next, you need to have up-to-date training certificates in at least manual handling, basic first aid, safeguarding vulnerable adults, and medication administration. If you are new to care, the best option is to join an agency and get trained by them. They will train you in everything you need to know before you start living care jobs. And also, you get the added benefit of having the support of your manager if you ever face any challenges at work, especially in the early days when everything is still new to you. But I will say that sometimes you won't receive certificates for your training from some agencies. And so if you ever wanted to go work elsewhere, they would ask you to redo your training, even if you're already confident in what you are doing, which of course can be frustrating and take up unnecessary time. So in that case, what I would do as a self-employed individual, I would pay for my own training. And you can turn to a company called the Health and Safety Group. They do a mandatory training course which is valid for a year. This will cover the majority of what you need to know. But for other things like medication and anything else you may need, a very good resource to have a look at is Read Courses. I will leave a link in the description to that as well. On there, you will find pretty much all the training courses you'll need, and the prices are usually very reasonable. Last but not least, you might also need to get yourself trained in COVID awareness. Now, obviously, before the whole coronavirus pandemic happened, you wouldn't have needed this. And to be honest with you, not everybody is asking you to have this. But as a self-employed person, this is something I would advise you to do, just so you can give anybody you'll be working with the peace of mind and assurance of knowing that you will take very good precautions of preventing COVID. And to get this, the only place that I have found that does the COVID awareness training is a place called Grey Matter Training. Their course is called COVID Essentials, and it's suitable for people like us who will be working in a social care setting. It is free to take, but if you wanted a certificate for it, I believe you'd have to sign up for one of their plans. And I think the cheapest one is £4 per month. So that's all from me, but I do have a question for you. Are there any ideas you can share with anybody who might read the comments below? Any places where we can get good training, or any advice at all that you might have for people new to care or in care? Feel free to leave a comment below, or just leave a comment. And if you haven't already watched a video I created on 5 ways to find private living care work, you can watch that next. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.